Two. Check 2. Check 2, hello. Hello, are you there? I moved my mic plug around and it got thrown off a little bit. I had to reconnect. Two. How's it going, folks? How are you doing? What's going on? Welcome. The Anne Hathaway piece is amazing. I always knew Anne Hathaway was one of us. Maybe she watches this show. Which one of you is Anne Hathaway? Which one of you is Anne Hathaway? Hollywood actress. I know, Anne, I know you're out there. You don't need to hide anymore. Okay, you're out now. You're out as a loud and proud gooner. And we gotta celebrate that. It's Mistress of Insanity. I knew that was Anne Hathaway this whole time. I knew it. Was peacefully listening to Suicidal Tendencies when I got the live notification. I thought at first you said I was peacefully having suicidal tendencies. And I was like, well, good thing I got started here. That's usually what I'm doing in between streams as well. Anus beard. It would be very funny if Anne Hathaway was Anus Beard. That would be very funny. One of our original valued community members, Anus Beard. We all remember Anus Beard. It's me. I am famed actress Anne Hathaway. So now we got multiple people claiming credit. Which one is it? We got people stealing Anne Hathaway valor in the chat now. What is this? What is this Taylor Swift thing? I can't believe this very real Taylor Swift protest song leaked. This very real Taylor Swift protest song. It would be really funny if Taylor Swift did a cover of that wedding song, Mr. Putin, harden your heart, Mr. Putin, increase your attacks. If that was the new Taylor Swift song, that would be good. That would be very funny. Okay, let's see this here. Bumbler of Delaware.
Down the street from his house, trail of tears and lies and ice cream, headed straight towards the fallout. At every podium, a blunder laughs erupt, and the memes, oh boy, do they flow. Spread opium with bald-faced lies.
It's we've all been tired of waiting for Taylor to get up and start doing some actual sort of political activism and political content, so I'm glad she's finally getting around to that.
Corrupt. The war machine broke your halo. Oh, Joe Biden, your fading fast. Do you even know what's going on the campus yard where the students amass? Is there any hope for holding on? All your empty words have gone still, and the pantry's running low. $10 for eggs and more for oxtail. Genocide Joe gotta go. 'Cause every night we hope and pray that something gives, that the world ain't really this way. We could wake up tomorrow with no place to live. Just another Tuesday. There's a tension in the air, a sense of dismay. As that Tuesday draws near, in the hearts of the people there is just one thing: free Palestine.
There we go.
Your fading flash. Do you even know what's going on
This is real, yeah.
Oh, Joe Biden, degrading fast. Do you even know what's going on? On campus, Charlotte, students en masse. Is there any hope for holding on?
Nice. I'm glad to know that Taylor's finally taking a stand on this. We've all been waiting. We've all been waiting for her to make a statement, and I think it's left no ambiguity. You know? That was good. Very good stuff. This soup I'm having is really good. This soup I'm having is tremendous, actually. It's a cold day in Montreal again. It's cold. It's literally, it was snowing today. Like, I don't know if it's like catching or like actually staying on the ground, but there was actually like a blustery snowfall earlier, and it's like, fucking, no, enough now. Enough. What the fuck is this? What's going on here? So, I am eating this very good soup. So last night I had some like bulgogi beef from the Korean grocery, and I made that with some mushrooms and some Chinese broccoli and garlic and kimchi and stuff. And you know, I mixed that with I have these like sweet soy noodles. Mixed all that up. That was really good. But I had some leftovers of like the meat and veg, and I just like put that in the fridge. And then today just made another, like, just heated up a regular Shin ramen and just dumped the leftovers in there. And sometimes, like, you make a soup and it's like, oh, I'm going to go to eat the soup and it's like super hot and it's like, ugh, you're like burning your mouth. But I really like left it. I was very patient here. I just left it on the counter for a good like 20 minutes or so. And it's nice and it's still warm, but it's not like burning my tongue. And it's really good. And it's amazing how like you can make like a really good meal just from like leftovers and then a ramen packet. I don't know why eating soup has always sounded wrong to me. Well, listen, the base is a liquid, but in most soups, you're going to be eating a bunch of stuff. Like there's a bunch of soup in there that you're chewing on and swallowing. So, love baking a fresh batch of brownies. I actually do have brownie mix in the closet right now. I'll probably make some on Friday. Make some brownies. That's what I was doing last night. Eating bulgogi beef and noodles, and watching more hoops. And I wasn't quite as tuned in last night to the hoops. The stream that I was watching it on, the legal stream, the perfectly legal stream that I was watching it on, was not working properly and kept cutting out and stalling and coming back. So I wasn't paying as much attention. I didn't watch the whole Clippers Mavericks game. It didn't seem like quite the same level of craziness as the night before, even though the games didn't seem that bad. You had the same thing? Weird, Dakadoon, that both of our perfectly legal streams would not work like that. That's what a crazy coincidence. I had the express written consent to the NBA to watch this, and for some reason it was still not working. So you figure it out. Siakam was cooking. That's the thing, Dakadoon. It's like, I know it's upsetting. But I gotta say, I was happy to see my guy Pascal out there really just killing it in the playoffs. That's why they brought him there, right? That's why they brought him halfway through the season. and he's been tremendous. And Dakadune, are you getting worried? Like, when do you think they're going to get Giannis back? Like, now if they go down 2-1, I feel like they're going to be rushing to get him back. And then, like, do you want to mess around with that? Do you want to mess around with his possible long-term health? It seems like they're getting into, like, conundrum territory. You know, how long do they keep him out? Won't be back this series? That may be a problem. That could very well be a problem. It's unfortunate that you get Dame and Giannis, and the possibility that they might not make it out of the first round of the playoffs. They might still. They've got Dame and they've got players. And the Pacers, even though they looked good last night, have not there's been a big difference between the Pacers in the first half of the season and the second half. The Pacers just don't quite look themselves. I don't know if Halliburton is not 100% either. So I don't know. Yeah, I would not be. I know Adrian Griffin was a new coach and everything. I would not be feeling great with Doc Rivers as the head coach. And no Giannis. That's not good. That's not good for the Bucks. So that's all. I was only kind of half paying attention. I'm hoping that tonight my viewing experience, my perfectly legal viewing experience, will be better this evening. We got some big games tonight. I think Lakers Nuggets is on Thursday. Tonight we got Heat Celtics game 2, and we got Pelicans Thunder game 2. Those should both be. Well, anyway, the Pelicans and Thunder series should be really good. I would really like for the Heat to beat the Celtics. Like, there's really. I would really, really enjoy that if the Celtics were to lose. I just don't know if it's going to happen. If the Heat had Jimmy Butler, then maybe, but I'm really not sure if that's a possibility. Are the Lakers good? I mean, they're not terrible, but they've lost 10 straight games to the Denver Nuggets, which is like actually kind of crazy. And they were up by 20 on Sunday in the third quarter, blew the lead, and then gave up a game-winning Jamal Murray jumper at the buzzer. So really, really difficult to imagine them coming back from that. You know, if they win the next game, maybe people will be saying differently, but like those are tough. Those games that you should win and everything goes right for you and everything mostly for most of the game goes wrong for the other guys. And you had this huge lead and all these things that were happening that like they need to do to win and they still lose like that. And I just don't know. I don't know if you can come back from that. The Nuggets are just too good. Jokic is just too good. It's always a good thing to see the Celtics fan base lose. That's the thing with the Celtics for me. It's like I don't even hate the team. Like, you know what I mean? Was it Jaylen Brown? I think his name. Yeah, Jaylen Brown. Man, my mind is going. Tatum, of course. They've got guys that I like, right? The team's not hateable at all. You know? But at the same time, I just kind of want to see them lose so I can see their fans be upset. And there are a couple teams that I feel that way. Like I kind of want the Clippers to lose as well, because I have a little bit of bitterness as a Raptors fan. So it's just it would be kind of an enjoyable thing to just see that team go out in the first round. Yeah, we talked about this we talked about it yesterday. Terrell, he has 4 25-point, 20 rebound, 10 assist games in the playoffs. All other NBA players combined have 4 of those. Like, it's just unreal. And like Terrell, I don't know if you noticed this as well, but like he easily could have had like 35 in that previous game. Like I would like throughout most of the game, I was like, oh, he's missing shots that he normally makes. There was like probably 3 or 4 shots that were halfway down and then rolled out. And he still ended up with like 28, 20, and 10. Like, that's just silly. That's just silly. I hope this Clippers team never wins a ring. I have a bit of a grudge against the Sixers as well. You know, also likable guys. They've got Kyle Lowry on there. He's one of my all-time favorite guys. I love Kyle Lowry like he's a member of my own family. But I kind of just want to see them not win. I'm sorry. No, Lowry got traded by the Heat and then got picked up by the Sixers after the trade deadline. I love SGA, but you cannot not give the MVP to Nikola. The MVP to Nikola. I don't know. I think you can give it to Shai. Like, he was really great this year, and they got the 1 seed. What did he average? Like over 30 points a game, 32 points a game, or something. I think you can give the MVP to Shai. But that doesn't take away anything from the stuff that Jokic is doing on a nightly basis. It's the thing about Joel Embiid, too. I know he's had a lot of injury problems, but it's like, you know, he was the MVP last year, right? I think. And he's a phenomenal player. Like, he's unbelievably good. But it's been now like 8 years. And he's either hurt in the playoffs or he just seems to get like tired. Like, it seems like when he gets into that, it never seems like he's available. He's either injured or he's just like physically all fucked up from like the length of the season and not being able to play. Like, he always just at the end of games, especially, he just seems like tired. And like, it's been now multiple years now that he's like been like this. I don't know. Plus, the Knicks are a fun story, and they've got my guy OG. Oh. And my nose is a little runny there from the soup, the spicy soup. But the soup is quite spicy, but I put that bulgogi meat in it. It gave it kind of a sweetness. It's very good. Really, really good. By the way, new merch. You'll notice I'm wearing new merch. It's the new TRRS K Bono shirt. It's my first time getting one of these like smaller hoodies. It's like not the big thick hoodie, but it's like a thin one. And I really like the hoodie. I don't love how the design came out on the hoodie. It's like really hard to kind of like see the detail in it. In fact, I might actually try to see if I can get a refund because like there's writing on it and you can't even read the writing. So I don't know that I would recommend getting this design on a red hoodie, even though it looks pretty cool. Like, it looks pretty good, but you can't really see the detail on it. but it is a really cool. I got a T-shirt as well, which I'll probably wear, later this week. I'm not wearing basketball shorts. No, I'm wearing jeans. I'm wearing stretchy jeans. So, love the design. I actually do quite like this hoodie, this style of hoodie. But I don't know that I would recommend getting it in red, but I do recommend picking up some TRRS merch. Got some really, really cool stuff. So please, if you want to do that, go ahead and pick that up. It's a really cool design. And you can signal to people that you meet that you're a weird conspiracy crank as well. So there's really no downside. I don't know what it's saying, but it looks decent, very postmodern. It just says K Bono. K Bono, who benefits? And there's some really cool shit. There's graphics from JFK's autopsy, and you got a picture of JFK here with the bullet trajectory you can see going, and then it shows where the magic bullet went. It's really cool. It's really, really, if you want to wear a article of clothing that references the JFK assassination, but maybe with enough plausible deniability that you're not one of those guys. You know what I mean? You're not one of those guys, but there's enough stuff in there for the real heads. I have a feeling people will read Bono and go, "I love you too." Well, that's how you get them. If you want to wear an article of clothing that exposes a thoroughly debunked conspiracy theory, exactly. The CIA and Alan Dulles, they came together to tell the real story, and it's just been thoroughly debunked. The people that were suspects and culprits in this crime, this coup d'etat that happened in America, fully exonerated. They investigated and they found nothing. They found no wrongdoing. Fully exonerated themselves. So, fully debunked. I got one of these spiced Cokes, which I don't think I would like to drink every single time I have a soda beverage, but it's a nice little treat. It's nice. It's nice. It's just kind of different. Is it cinnamony? I don't think so. And it says even it has a raspberry base. So it's Coke with a slightly spicy raspberry kick. That's what it is. If only I had this when I was talking to the RFK crank in DC. Exactly. You could have been listen, you don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell me. I'm already on board. I'm already on board. That spiced Coke tastes like drinking those dried flower bowls moms had in the 90s. You mean the potpourri? I guess so. I guess it kind of is like that. That's right. That's how you become a guild navigator. Yeah, it's potpourri. Of course. You don't hear much about potpourri anymore, do you? It's mids, it's no cherry vanilla Coke. I do enjoy that as well. And like I said, this is not my favorite Coca-Cola product, but sometimes it's kind of nice. Sometimes it's kind of nice if you want a little treat. Excuse me. Sorry. Ugh. So how are you doing, chat? How's it going? That's all the updates I think I have for you. Basketball, new merch, soap. Wait. Basketball, new merch, Soup. Excuse me. We can talk about soap if you want to. I don't know. We could do that. If you wanted, if there's any like soap related discussion you wanted to have, like we can carve out some time for that right now. Favorite soap? Do I have a favorite? I don't think I have a favorite soap, but you know what I really like? Those foaming hand soaps for the bathroom. I can never go back to just like regular hand soap now. I gotta have the foam. That's very a Seinfeld thing as well, Sinchel. Gotta have the foam. I went to her bathroom. She had that soap. No foam. No foam. She had no foam. I gotta have the foam. Gotta have that. She's a no foamer. God. I use the Dove Sensitive, but for my hands, I like the Costco fancy ones that smell like lemons or pine trees. But do you foam worthy? But do you? Does it foam though? That's the question. Because I need the foam now. So like I'm being serious. I'm being very serious here. And then they settled the issue by asking Kramer. I can talk to my friend Bob Second on Times Square. I can get you 4 cases of foam soap. Wholesale. Do you use the foam Kramer? Oh, yeah. Rob's so dirty. He needs that foam. That's right. I'm absolutely filthy. Can you get a bottle that makes any liquid soap into foam, or does it have to be a specific soap? It has to be a specific soap. When you try to put non-foaming soap into the foam soap dispenser, it just goes... It just like... You just get a big mess. It's not the same thing. Oh, wow. We got 2 Bath and Body Works foaming soap fans, one after another. I don't know if we have Bath and Body Works here. Just dilute it and put it into the foaming bottle. Is that all it is? No. That's not all it is. All this foam talk is working me up into a lather. Oh my goodness. BBW is available in Montreal. Well, that's great. I've been in the market for a good BBW, so I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to look into this. I like that as a community we can just riff on any topic. Exactly. It's good. I'm just glad I'm among fellow hand washers. Of course. Absolutely. I literally had a whole lecture in nursing school on how to wash my hands. You'd better be a pro. I thought we all had that lecture. I thought we all became hand washing experts. Remember when we were washing our groceries? Remember that? Man, that was not cool. That was really not cool, the grocery washing period. Dakadu never did. That's good. I mean, you gotta draw the line somewhere. I think there were times when I was doing that, I was just like, I really don't think this is accomplishing anything. But can't be too careful, I guess. Spraying all my apples with Febreze. Like, this is going to make me healthier. Spray a bunch of cleaning chemicals on there before I eat it. It gets rid of all the bad stuff. You can make your own liquid soap with potassium hydroxide and some oil. That just seems complicated, though. What do you mean by grocery washing? I still scrub on my fruits and veg. I have some Fit organic wash I use for berries. No, I don't mean just washing fruits and vegetables. I mean like taking cans and like washing them off with water and soap. And like taking all the cardboard boxes and transferring all the stuff in the box into like a sterilized plastic container. It was not cool. I really did not like it. I really did not enjoy it. I was not happy about any of that. You get back from doing a grocery with like, which was already like a weird and kind of scary situation. You're, going out in public during that time. And now for the 45-minute to 1 hour grocery washing period. Grocery runs were fraught. I remember the first time going to get groceries, like when the pandemic was starting, and it was just like, what the fuck? It was incredibly surreal. It was incredibly surreal. Here's a container of bleach wipes. Time to wipe down the Costco right now. Exactly. That's what we were doing. Some of us, anyways. Where do you hear you should wash groceries? I never heard any medical authority say to do that. I mean, there was concern for a while that COVID would live on like surfaces of things. I can't remember exactly what medical authority said that. I certainly remember being sent several links and suggestions that you should do that. We don't know how legitimate it was. I don't know. It seemed nutty to me as well. Oh, crazy time. The messaging in the first weeks was not super. It's not super tight. I think is understatement. Yeah, I think so. They never did come clean about the vape thing. I think Dakadoon, that's one conspiracy that I'm gonna still continue believing in. The idea that it started in December 2020. The vaping illness. This vaping illness is just taking out all these young people that have healthy lungs, and all of a sudden they're having these like pneumonia-like symptoms. They're getting intubated. What's going on with that? It must be vaping. And we just never heard about that again, did we? That was like October, November 2019. Curious how we never heard about this vaping illness again, despite no companies changing anything about their vape formulas or doing anything. We stopped hearing about this mysterious vaping illness that we were hearing about in October and November of 2019. Didn't you have a segment on it before COVID? We may have talked about it, Dakadoon. No, because that's not true, because I didn't start really doing the show until 2020. Like the election was like the first episode of this show, and maybe a couple weeks before that. But we did do a segment on it like after a year, and I think on the first anniversary of COVID. I remember it was Red Scary that was pilling me on this. Vaping illness. Never heard about it again. Instead of that, I'm taking up vaping. You should. You should. It's fun. And it feels good. Vaping illness. Very suspicious. I mean, I think hold on. You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
6 months. Wow, back in 10 days.
Barry, thank you so much for the 6 months tier 1. Really appreciate it. Here's Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera, what's the date on this? What's the exact date? September 13th, 2019. The United States government is probing 450 cases of vaping-related lung illnesses across 33 states. September 13th, 2019. Never heard about this vaping illness again.
At 18, doctors say Adam Hergenrader has the lungs of a 70-year-old.
I was devastated because I didn't think that little pod could do so much damage on my body.
He arrived in a hospital emergency room vomiting uncontrollably. His infected lungs nearly collapsed. His doctors and his mother blame daily vaping.
He's living proof of what this does. The pictures of his lungs, living proof of what vaping does to your lungs.
It's cases like his that have President Donald Trump considering banning flavored vaping tobacco, which critics say is designed to appeal to teens. The state of Michigan has already banned the products.
Not only is it a problem overall, but really specifically with respect to children. We're getting some stories that we don't want to hear, and we may very well have to do something very, very strong about it.
According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, more than 450 people across the U.S. have developed ailments linked to tobacco and cannabis vaping. At least 6 have died. By some estimates, 1 in 4 teens vape. Doctors say what's alarming is they're only seeing the first few cases. It could be decades before they understand the scope of the problem. One doctor told me the only thing that's safe to put in your lungs is air.
We really don't know what's in this product that's making them acutely ill. I think there's a big fear behind what is not known, and whether we're
same with me, Cinnamon Challenge.
Sort of the early phase of this epidemic.
Critics say the Trump administration has contributed to a growing epidemic by refusing to regulate the industry as it regulates cigarettes until health advocates successfully sued to force the administration to act.
The Trump administration's Federal Drug Administration unlawfully refused to regulate e-cigs for years, allowing these products to be on the market without any indication of what chemicals these liquids contained. And that is directly contributing to the public health crisis that we're seeing today.
The American Vaping Association says it is disappointed the administration is considering a crackdown, saying in a statement, a ban will remove life-changing options from the market that have been used by several million American adults to quit smoking. In the history of the United States, prohibition has never worked. It didn't work with alcohol. It hasn't worked with marijuana. It won't work with e-cigarettes. Adam Hergenrader says for users like him,
my lungs were just felt like a baby bear was on them.
The damage is already done.
Had trouble breathing. Damaged lungs. It remains strange to me. It remains very strange to me that we had all these news stories about vaping illness about 4 or 5 months before this pandemic, before we discovered this pandemic that targeted people's lungs and made it difficult for them to breathe and damaged their lungs and had them to go to the hospital to get intubated or because they needed help breathing. What a coincidence. Isn't that a crazy coincidence that this vaping illness happened and then a mere 5 months later there's a massive pandemic that starts in China because of evil China. Because of evil China covering it up. Only 4 or 5 months later, there's this pandemic of this virus that is airborne virus that targets people's lungs. What a crazy coincidence that is. I knew someone who had exact COVID symptoms and had to be in the ICU because they went into respiratory failure.
You can count on me
in December 2019
to talk you through all this.
This is propaganda.
Really chill guy. Thanks for the 41 months. I really appreciate it. Seriously. But my whole point though is that vaping is fine. It's healthy, actually. It's healthy. My point is, and this is a conspiracy theory that I'm going to now believe forever. This crazy coincidence that in September and October 2019, there was multiple news stories about this vaping illness. 5 months before the evil, devious Chinese tried to cover up this pandemic that targets people's lungs like this. I just think that's a crazy coincidence to me. And we just never heard a word about this vaping illness again. I'm fine up the Reds. I'm fine. I don't have vape lung. Jordan might. Sometimes I'm gaming with Jordan. I just hear him going like directly into the microphone. None of this it doesn't mean that vaping is like great for you or healthy, but the point is that there's some very suspicious coincidences here. And like you're saying, like Mistress of Insanity is saying, I knew someone who had exact COVID symptoms and had to be in the ICU because they went into respiratory failure December 2019. Carrier says, my boss and mom had brutal pneumonia for weeks in December. Very shortly before we discovered this virus that the devious, evil Chinese had been covering up. Why don't people still get vaping illness? Keep going. This is what I want to know. This is my question. Why don't we hear about this anymore? You think this isn't a serious issue? What changed? They didn't ban any vapes or change anything about the vaping formula. What a crazy coincidence that is. $2019 sounds years earlier than 2020. Oh yeah, you mean 2019, 5 years ago? Oh yeah. Maybe we should always be asking K Bono. We always should be asking that question. The 2019-2020 vaping lung illness outbreak. It's weird, it just stopped. It just stopped in 2020 despite them not changing anything. That's crazy. Dad-coded normie Jeffrey Sachs co-chaired a study for The Lancet, and he thinks it came from a U.S. lab and specifically talks about Fauci's shop. I mean, especially if you just take the every accusation is a confession thing. As not a like, oh, maybe that's something that sometimes makes sense, but sometimes that's something that always makes sense. The whole lab leak theory. And to be clear too, like when it comes to COVID, there's totally a possibility that it did have the same origins that they claim it did. Like that it just came from like cross contamination and animals, and that's how diseases happen. You know, that shit does happen. I don't want to say that's like impossible. When the stories about U.S. biolabs in Ukraine started coming out in 2022, I was like, we're going to find out it came from fucking Ukraine. I mean, again, I immediately, as soon as the pandemic started, and it was like Iran and China were the main countries I was hearing about where it was spreading. And I was like, huh. Iran and China, you say? Interesting. It could also just be a lab fuck up as well. It's true. Very strange. Very strange. The vaping illness. We should just be thankful that the vaping illness just stopped for no reason, I think. You know, we don't need to look into it. We should just be thankful that the vaping illness just lasted from 2019 to 2020 and then people stopped getting it for no reason. You know, really dodged a bullet there. We really dodged a bullet. Because that could have been really bad if people had kept getting this thing that they were telling us about. Jon Stewart was even suspicious about the lab leak theory. Yeah, but Kijiji, like his thing on that was like kind of racist. Like his whole thing when he's just like, he's basically saying like because the Coronavirus Research Institute in Wuhan, he's like, whoa, he's like it's some big discovery, but it's like, yeah, they had outbreaks of those kinds of respiratory illnesses, and they opened up a research institute. And that's where they discovered the virus, because they have an institute and a lab that's there to determine this exact thing. Yeah, Colbert of all people had to stop him. Jon Stewart has a weird China thing. He's one of those libs with like the China obsession. Why are we not talking about this? That's why he left Apple TV and came back to The Daily Show. I'm just glad they figured out who this vaping lung thing before I started. Exactly. Absolutely. Next thing you'll tell me that and masks available to people in China. It's true. I know. Jon Stewart's quote, weird China thing is called liberalism. Yeah. Vaping illness. Fascinating.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. 4 more years. Imagine what we can do.
You're not supposed to read that part on the teleprompter, sir. You're not supposed to read that part. It's telling you to just stop for a moment. Shouldn't you know this kind of stuff? You're the president, sir. Four more years. Pause. I just read the computer screen, Jack. Hey, Nick, what's up? Nick, what do you think about this conspiracy theory? What do you think about this conspiracy theory? I was just talking about this. This is a conspiracy theory that I'm going to believe forever now, which is that COVID happened significantly before December 2020. And it did not originate in China. And I was looking at this vaping illness. All these vaping illness stories from September, October, November 2019. Months before the COVID pandemic was like discovered. And when it came in from China. And we had all these stories about vaping illness. Which mysteriously went away as soon as this virus happened several months later. This virus that targeted people's respiratory systems and gave them the exact same symptoms as this vaping illness was giving them. Ainsley, are you with me on this? Are you with me on this? Wait, so who's getting paid here? I more mean that's like they were either covering up the leak of this devastating illness. It's not really about like, you know, anyone. It's not about. It has nothing to do with vaping. It's more just like a way to say like, what's going on here? What's this mysterious lung-related, respiratory system-related illness that seems to be going around? It must be due to vaping. We got all these young people that should have healthy lungs, and they're coming into the hospital. Their lungs look like they're 70 years old. They're got to get intubated and oxygenated. I wonder why this is. Maybe it must be because of vaping. It really does make you say, huh. It's true, Max. It's true. Big vape. Listen, I don't vape. I don't like, I've smoked weed for a long time in my life, and I don't do the analog weed anymore. I do the vape carts, the carts. So so I guess I do, but I don't do like Juuls or any of that stuff. None of the like nicotine, any of that stuff. We really did. Isn't that weird, Nick? Isn't that weird? This vaping illness, someone just sent in the Wikipedia article. The 2019-2020 vaping lung illness outbreak that just stopped in 2020, despite none of these vape companies changing anything about their products or the actual like vapes themselves. Isn't that strange? I'm, carrier wave. Since the first time we talked about this, I've been fully vaping illness pilled since the very first time we talked about this. I've never believed anything more in my life that this pandemic started way before December 2020. No, it's not a bit. I am 100% being serious. Early attempt at a cover-up. Exactly. And then you pin it on the big foreign bad guy. Oh, China. Can you believe China? Can you believe China that they totally let this terrible illness happen, and they lied about it and they covered it up? Oh, it's their fault. It's all their fault. Can you believe China? I've been pilled just from covering this the last 15 minutes. Good. Why did it suddenly disappear? Well, my point is that there was no vaping illness. Those people just had COVID. That's the point. Yeah, they leaned into the wet market thing. The thing about the wet market versus the lab leak is like both of them you can blame on like deviant Chinese behavior, right? They're eating bats and eating weird bugs and creatures and it's unsanitary, or they're leaking deadly viruses that create pandemics. And Nick says, if COVID was present in the population, we would have seen like a rise of deaths in the elderly pre-COVID. Wonder if that exists in the data somewhere. I think we should look into this. And I remember reading stuff about COVID being found in the wastewater in Europe in 2019 as well. Yeah, we have the possibility of like a bird flu pandemic on the horizon as well, which is entirely based on our own absolutely disgusting, unsanitary food practices. No, same with me, Nick. No. We're in the vaping illness stage of the bird flu pandemic. Oh, God. Oh, God. My wife swears she had it in February 19. I mean, just in the chat today, we've heard a number of anecdotal, certainly, but we've heard a number of anecdotal stories that are very similar of otherwise healthy people, some older people, getting like catastrophic lung and respiratory infections prior to December 2020. Seems a bit bioweapon-y. Really does. Bird flu is going to be so bad when or I'm going to say if and when it jumps, because public health has been absolutely decimated. I mean, like, my mom and boss had brutal pneumonia December 19. I mean, just in this chat, that's like 3 or 4 different personal stories that people have had about this. Yeah, I don't want to speculate on it too much because it's too depressing, but go look at any news story about like the possibility of a bird flu pandemic and just go look at the comments. If you want to be really like doom pilled or black pilled or whatever it is, just go look at the comments. It's all people being like, do not comply. You're trying this again. You're trying this again. Like if we have a pandemic again, no matter how, even if it's more deadly or more devastating or it's even worse, 0% chance people are going to, they probably won't even enact public health measures because now it's such like a political issue. You can't even enact the health measures in the first place. If they try, though, people are going to lose their fucking minds. There will be no, like, because there was a couple months where we all kind of agreed, like, we got to try staying home, we got to wash our hands, try and mask up, you know? I mean, even the conservatives were like, Trump needs to make a vaccine, but because it became this like partisan brain rot thing, it's like they all became anti-vax as soon as it was Biden in charge. But 0% chance. There's going to be these people will not follow any public health measures whatsoever, and they will in fact go out of their way to ensure that they break these public health measures. Half the country would willingly turn into zombies. The other half would pretend the zombies aren't a problem as long as Republicans aren't in charge. Yeah, I think it's bad that the liberal president has allowed half the country to become zombies. It sounds like you want Trump back. Wow. No, that's the thing that really scares me a lot because, like, if like COVID was devastating enough as it is, and still remains to be quite devastating as well, despite whatever protections there are for it now. But like, if that was like a trial run for how we need to respond to like a pandemic that's like way more deadly and way more dangerous, we failed miserably. We've failed that test miserably. And if something else happens, you know, an even worse pandemic or a more deadly virus, which is what would possibly happen if this bird flu thing does escalate, fucked. Totally fucked. These people will not follow any public health recommendations whatsoever, and they'll riot if they try. If they try to do more lockdowns, you know, if they try to do any kind of like mandate, these people are going to fucking riot right away. Yeah, and China will again take it seriously, and maybe like this is what we're talking about. This is how China ends up winning, because we just like, we're just completely paralyzed. We're just totally paralyzed now. And they'll just sit back and allow us to swirl the drain. Luckily, they're dealing with the real threat of anti-Semitism at Columbia. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is no, birds can get flu now. Wow, now I've heard everything. Now, like, there's like 50,000 genders too, isn't there? That's what these people are gonna fucking say. Yeah, no, it's something that makes me extremely despondent and depressed and terrified for the future. The extent to which we will have no public health measures whatsoever the next time we have to deal with a serious situation like this. I think we have, that's a good point, Nick. We have to pretend it's a Chinese bioweapon just for people to think that it's bad. Yeah, you just get the bird flu on purpose, and you get herd immunity. That's right. Just get it out of the way. And that's what we say, like, well, once these people have family members that are dying, like, we think this about climate change as well. All these, like, climate change deniers, the more the climate actually changes and it starts affecting them, surely they're going to, like, start doing the right thing. But it's like, they won't. Look at all the COVID deniers and anti-vax people that, like, had family members that were fucking dying or did die. And were still, like, they were trying to take them out of the hospital. Like, you know? Jesus. Or denying it themselves, and they themselves were in the hospital. There were so many cases just like that. And it's crazy. Like, you see, look at comments from people now about COVID. They're just like, they just say it was all made up now. Which is like, these are people that a lot of the time, know people that died of the pandemic, and they're like, it was totally fake. It was a totally fake, and it was just a way for the Joe Brandon to steal the election. Like, crazy, honestly. Yeah, everyone losing their homes to forest fires in Alberta just thinks it's Trudeau starting wildfires on purpose. Yeah. They're starting wildfires on purpose along with the what's the fucking financial conglomerate that they're all obsessed with? I have major brain fog right now. The WEF. Thank you, Jay. I think I have COVID brain myself. Yeah, it's Trudeau and the WEF. They're starting the forest fires intentionally to make you think that the climate is changing. COVID brain sucks ass. Like, for me, that's the thing. I don't know if it's like after effects of having COVID, or if I'm just high right now, which is a possibility, or if I'm just a 40-year-old man and I'm just start forgetting stuff all the time now. I mean, it's could be some combination of the three. Could be all three. Like, we don't know. Am I just kind of a dumb guy? Possibly. Maybe. I used to remember a lot of like useless information, but I think my brain is just like at capacity. Cognitive decline starts at 36. Oh, that's wonderful. Klaus Schwab with his box of matches started them, obviously. We remember we were joking around that a couple weeks ago, and it's just like thinking that like Klaus Schwab is the evil mastermind behind everything that's wrong with the world is so fucking funny. Klaus Schwab. Most people have never heard of this person. You're going to go around and tell them the secret mastermind. The mastermind behind everything that's going on. Klaus Schwab. It's like, what? Okay. Yeah, the laser video from Hawaii. Those were great. A cute baby frog moved into the plastic toad pond in my backyard. That sounds nice, Matron's Militia. Very nice. I would maybe have a modicum of respect for these weirdos if they ever actually did something about these obscure rich fucks they hate so much, but they never do. They just complain. That's right. I'm so terrified by this evil plan by Klaus Schwab and Justin Trudeau and the World Economic Forum. And that's why I think it's really important that we have an economic program of tax cuts for the wealthy and cutting all social safety net benefits and deregulation. That's how we fight back. It's like, good job, buddy. You nailed it. You really nailed it. This is how you get back at the powerful economic forces that are controlling your life. Cut their taxes, cut regulations, and slash the social safety net. That's how you get them. That's how you show them who's boss. I need to get back against the elites by standing Elon Musk. We can check out this Zelensky moment later. It seems fucked up. The MTG tweeted about BlackRock buying homes. This is socialism. I mean, that was the whole thing about like the Hawaii fires. And it's like on some level they grasp these certain concepts. They want to buy up all the property to kick out the natives. And they want to destroy the property with space lasers so they can buy up all the property for cheap and develop it. And it's like, okay, like kind of, but not really. But still, what do you think we should do about this? It's like cut their taxes. That'll show them. We just need to have a program of tax cuts and austerity and deregulation, and then we should be good to go. Like, these people are they're so close to getting it sometimes. I'm so tired of these elites running my life. That's why I got to give my boss and my landlord a tax cut. God. If only we could give my boss and my landlord more tax cuts, all these like elites that are destroying my life would really get shown up. We need to lower the minimum wage so we protect the small businesses. Thank you. God damn. You look around and see people saying that kind of stuff and then really think that ask yourself whether we live in a society that has any kind of like revolutionary potential. I don't want to be too doomer or whatever right now, but it's like, I don't believe anything the government tells me. They're always lying. I don't believe anything the government tells me. Okay, well, have you ever heard about this thing called Marxism? Like, maybe you should look into that. That Marxism, that killed 80,000 billion people. The government told me so. And you're like, think of what this country could accomplish if we could just let billionaires become more rich. I know, they're so close. They're so close. They just need a couple more years to get even richer, and then they're going to fix the problems. Yes, Rob, you just need to tail all their reactionary beliefs until we get to revolution. That's right, that's how we appeal to those people. We'll all just like tail all their stupid bullshit, and then we're going to be able to convince them to become Marxists. I hate the government, but I love Pierre Poilievre. He's one of us. The working man. Jesus. You'd think this whole idea of like, tax cuts and austerity and deregulation being some kind of like model or model for economic success, you'd think maybe that would be dispelled considering we spent 30 years trying that and all of the problems got worse. Sometimes that I find that kind of frustrating. And then our media talks about people like Pierre Poilievre, like they have these exciting new ideas. Oh, these exciting new kitchen table ideas that are going to affect average folks. And it's just like tax cuts, austerity, deregulation. I wonder if that's going to help or hurt the economy. If only there was some way of finding that out. Well, we just don't know. Did you see PP at the border protest? I mean, I saw him show up to some convoy thing, yeah. Someone needs to ask PP what his fave beer is. Yeah, he probably has some consultant that's fed him some stuff, but yeah. The class, I love those delicious, refreshing amber beverages. I was having some suds with my friends, with my guys. Did you discuss the guy getting acquitted of killing that Toronto cop? Not really. I mean, I talked about it on Twitter. I retweeted a story about it, but pretty amazing story. These fucking cops, these lying cops. Let's just still continue to take their word for everything that they say, though. They really came together to try and lie and ruin this fucking guy's life, and got caught, and no consequences. It's like all the experiments with providing a guaranteed income that show they work, but we have to just keep on experimenting. Yeah, well, now they've all bought this idea that when you give people money to buy groceries, it causes inflation. Now this is just like a belief, like the law of gravity. You give people money for like welfare, unemployment, student debt, whatever it is, guaranteed income. It just causes inflation. Inflation just happens. It just happens. Has Biden banned TikTok yet? Nobody's going to, though. Like, they really are going to. They attached that COVID ban of the TikTok ban to Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel billions of dollars. And Biden's going to sign it. So it's going to get banned. Yeah. I wish we could have a COVID ban. It's going to get banned. They're not divesting. Like, ByteDance will not divest from TikTok. So it's just going to get banned, which is crazy. It really is crazy. He's recording TikToks with Bernie while he's banning it. Oh, no big deal. Just every single World War III flashpoint. Yeah, we should be fine, though. Banning TikTok, that's going to get young people to the polls. That's right. Taking pictures with AOC as well. That's good. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. A classic philosopher once said that. Once said those immortal words. Would it be possible to show that video of you shooting hoops again? I mean, I guess I could if people like to see it.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
It's just one of those days. Risk Inverse, thanks for the gifted sub.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
I don't know why that causes two alerts. Oh, there's a video of me shooting hoops, all right. There sure is. And we looked at it yesterday for some reason, and you know what? Let's run it back. We're going to run it back. Where is it? It's right here. Now you'll notice the lack of cuts. You'll notice the lack of cuts in this video. You want one more, chat? You want a fifth in a row? Whatever, who cares though, right? Who cares? Whatever. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. My wife missed the video yesterday. Well, Mrs. Inverse, I'm happy to, anytime you want me to show videos of myself shooting jumpers, I'm more than happy to oblige. That was not an 8-foot net, that was a regulation hoop. And those were all behind the line. Those were all threes. Why is it so hard to believe? Why is it so hard to believe that I can hoop? Yeah, I know, I'm out of shape, okay? I get it. This is when I was like 32 and I was in the best shape of my life. I get that you look at me right now, you're like, this guy can't hoop. But I'm telling you, I can hoop. All right? This is before I got the vaccine. That's right. There might even be another one. It's a different outfit. Different outfit. This is before I got the vape lung. Whatever. It's not a big deal. Those shorts are too long. This is before I really embraced the short shorts lifestyle. You would see a much different fit now if I were to do this today. Thank you. Thank you, folks. I'm glad you enjoy videos of me hooping. You'll notice a lack of game footage in these clips as Rob is a practice champion. Well, I mean, listen, we did, like I said, when we had this run at that time, I was playing with people every week, and I just had 2 weeks in a row where no one showed up, and I was just in an empty gym for like 2 hours shooting jumpers. I did play every single week at that time, and I wasn't like, I didn't dominate. I did okay. I did all right. So that was 20 years ago. No, it was 8 years ago. And I've not exercised or played basketball once since that time. I know I should get back into it. I've said that I was going to get back into it like 50 fucking times on this very show. Oh, Nick, I would love that. Like I was saying yesterday, like I really do want to get back into hooping, but it's like I'm just out of shape. And then you have this like barrier because like I'm going to try and go and show up and I'm going to be going, I'm going to be like dying. So it's like I'm intimidated from getting back into it, even though I know after 2-3 weeks I would probably be doing way better, but I just know I'm going to be miserable the first time I try to play again. I know 2016 seems like an eternity ago. It's crazy to me. It really is. There's probably an over 40 league. Suicides till you puke. I ran so many suicides in high school. So my fucking coach at that time, Rob Adams, who I believe works for the YMCA in Ottawa now. This man made us run so many suicides. I'd never want to do it again, even though it actually probably was a pretty good way to be in good condition. What's a suicide? Well, what a suicide is supposed to be is you line up on like the baseline, you run to the 3-point line, you run back. You run to the half-court line, you run back. You run to the opposite 3-point line, run back, and then run the full court and run back. That's one suicide. But the suicides that we did started with a full court run as well. So you added it was started with a full court run and then the traditional suicide on top of that. And we ran so many suicides. We had the full court first too. It's brutal. God. And we would do that as well. And it would be like, you got to make 10 free throws before you get water. If you after you're finished running, make 10 free throws and then you can get a water. It was not fun. Oh my God, don't make me do the suicides. Oh, it's just running up and down. I thought it was painful or something. It was painful, believe me. Believe me. Withholding water seems illegal. It was probably illegal, yeah. I think if anyone was physically like dying, there would have probably been an exception made, but it is true though that like in a game, you're on the court. Whether you're tired or not, you got to shoot your free throws, I played football, and we had a thing called striders where you run from one sideline to the other, then back, and then back again. One strider was 195 yards. One time we had to do a strider for every penalty we got. We had 18 penalties, 3,500 yards of running. That's a lot. That's a lot of running. Aside from the physicality required, it's a mental battle. You know, you have to run further next time, and time after that is defeating. Yeah, and I remember like I played for like the Brockville team, like in there's something called the Ontario Basketball Association, and I played for like the city team, and the tryouts for that were brutal as well. And I remember distinctly because like the group was like split up in half, so you'd have one half of the group doing like whatever 10 suicides or whatever it is, and then you finish your 10 suicides, and then it's on the wall like this. The squat on the wall, the arms out, while the other group does their 10 suicides. Fucking God. It was... Oh, the wall squats. Oh, yes. After you just did all the suicides, and then you're waiting for the other guys to do them, and you're... Ugh. But I was in very good shape when I was like 18, 19. I looked like a god. Now I don't have to run suicides or do wall squats, but I look like shit. So I guess maybe there could be some kind of balance. I don't know. Maybe we can have some kind of balance. Picture it's a lie. I don't have a lot of pictures from when I was like 18, honestly, because it was before digital photography. I do have a picture of myself from when I was like, I guess I was probably like 29, and I was like at the beach or something. And I remember how I felt so out of shape at that time. And I was just like, oh God, I probably look like shit. And I see that picture now, I'm just like, oh my God, I was so hot. That's really frustrating, isn't it? When you don't appreciate like what you have like at the time. And at the time you're like miserable. You're like, oh, I need to lose weight. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then years later you look at the picture and just like, God damn, I was like in such great shape. Don't feel too bad, Rob. I had a physical this week and my doctor brought up my weight problem, but referring to the elephant in the room. I'm sure when I actually end up getting any kind of a physical, that's going to be brought up as well. Think about how happy you'd be if you dedicated your life to grinding your middle-aged body into the dirt for abs. Yeah, I don't really feel the need to do that. I think I could probably be in better shape, definitely. Especially because I'm developing all kinds of like weird physical issues with my feet and my knees and everything, but you know, I don't need to have abs. Like I actually don't even hate my body now. I really don't. I'm overweight, I guess. Like but like I look in the mirror and I'm like, I don't know, I think I look all right. I could maybe be a little bit better, but I don't feel the need to like torture myself so I have abs. I really don't. Yeah, and that's it, right? It's not weight, it's about how active you are. It's not really a good measurement of your health. I should just go on the juice. I should just go start taking HGH or steroids or something. I would be so ripped. I would be insanely ripped if I went on the juice. I think I should do it. Just use HGH, but don't do it. No exercise. Don't move or exercise at all. What would that even do to me? Would I just turn into some kind of like mutant? There's no side, similar to vaping, there's no side effects with HGH. You just do it. Don't ask questions and just do it. The Bulgogi King. That man does not look healthy. Like, I'm sure technically you might say the Liver King is like in better shape than I am, but like that man does not look healthy at all. Like, it looks like if you like pricked him with a pin, his whole body would just explode. Like, that's what it looks like. Take HGH and just eat raw meat and never jack off. And then you're good to go. And get one of those electric things from the infomercials. That's right. Strap that on somewhere. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? I don't know. I think it's fine to do that. I still watch those Liver King videos when they come up on my feed just because I have like a kind of morbid curiosity to it. I don't know if he's actually eating that food that he talks about too. That's a whole other thing. He's always just like sucking on eyeballs or like whatever it is. Eating testicles or all kinds of stuff. Just eating a big like cow head. I don't know if he's really eating that stuff. Liver can make you OD on vitamin A and cause liver damage. I mean, this man does not look healthy at all. Wow, folks, do you know that I've been here for an hour and 42 minutes? I've been here for an hour and 42 minutes. I don't think he's 26. I do not think so. I think he's at least in his 40s. Yeah, he lied about the fact that he was taking huge amounts of supplements and HGH and stuff. He's not 28. No. There's no way. There is no way. He's a young man, that Liver King. He has popcorn lung. He has vaping illness. So I've been here for an hour and 43 minutes, folks. I guess I'll take a moment to just remind people that if you do enjoy tuning into this program, please subscribe if you can. This has been, we haven't really done anything serious today, but it's been a lot of interesting discussion. We pilled some people on the real COVID conspiracy that your uncle at the Thanksgiving doesn't want to talk about. As you know, the only way that I'm able to put on this show each and every day, folks, is if a little number at the bottom of the screen goes up.
Through all this.
Anon, thank you very much for the gifted sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Anon. I must make the little number at the bottom of the screen go up. It's just the only way that I'm able to do this show. As I've said many times, I don't really love it.
On me.
I don't love the fact that like my whole income relies on me making this little number go up. But this is just what my life is now. That's it.
You can count on
I
me.
logged on to Twitch one day in 2020, and I was like, "Oh, this could be kind of interesting. Why don't I try to give this a little try?"
You can count on me.
And now I have to do this just forever.
To talk you through all this.
I just have to keep doing it forever. And the only way that I can continue to live.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Is if the little number at the bottom of the screen goes up. Anon, thank you for the gifted sub. Bleep Lord, thank you very much for the gifted sub. And thanks Comrade Bushy as well for 2 gifted subs. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. That's right. You know, that song is really like a victim of being overplayed. Because it's like, really, when you break it down, it has to be one of the best songs, like, ever. It's such a good song, but we've all heard it so many times, it's like, I'm sick of it. Get this shit out of here. But it's really good. It's got one of the best guitar solos. Like, the guitar solo is insanely good. It's one of the very best guitar solos ever recorded. The Eagles rule. I mean, I'm not even a huge fan of the Eagles, even though they have some good songs, but as a Pink Floyd fan, I have to bitch and complain about the Eagles, which I also like. Come on, Lodan, I had a long night and I hate the fucking Eagles. Get the fuck out of my cab. My mom had the Hell Freezes Over CD. Everyone had the Hell Freezes Over. Like everyone, either your dad or your mom had the Hell Freezes Over CD. And you know what? That acoustic performance of Hotel California is really fucking good. But yeah, we've all heard it many times. If I hear the Hell Freezes Over version again, I'll explode. It was on the sample disc we used to demo speakers at Circuit City. Yeah. I've heard it so many fucking times. I saw the Eagles in concert in 2021. Nice. I really like Don Henley's solo stuff. Particularly, of course, the bongos. You know what I'm talking about. Dirty Laundry, very good. Boys of Summer, obviously, is the classic. I love New York Minute. I'm sorry, Up the Reds. It's burned into my memory, too. I love New York Minute. That's a really good song. Absolutely. Boys of Summer, definitely one of the all-time great pop songs. Did we talk about the Zelensky thing yet? Not really. We've only been talking about silly bullshit most of the time. We've been talking about silly bullshit for the last 2 hours, and you know what? I kind of like it. I don't hate it. I don't hate this for us. Sometimes I like just chit-chatting about stuff. Beatboxing Hotel California HFO edition. Exactly. I mean, very nice guitar playing on the song, you have to admit. My mom was born in 52 and my dad was born in 32. I've never seen Hell Freezes Over CD. Wow.
Through all this.
So your dad must have thought the Eagles were like devil music or something, I believe. Is that what that means? Dick Penderin, thanks for the gifted sub. And if anyone else wants to subscribe, please do. Please help me keep this show on the air. Help me make the little number go up. Help support this stream and this community. If you can, if possible, please do subscribe. It really, really helps me out.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
TRRS Sankara.
Bon, thank you for the 32 months. Will there be more videos of you shooting hoops if we sub? Well, the ones I've shown you are the best. So, like, there's extended versions where I miss a bunch. I don't know if we want that though. I just cut I cut those videos from longer videos because those were the little runs I went on. Right? I would record myself shooting for like, 10, 15 minutes. And then when I captured me going on a little run there, I would clip that. See? It's really just the best. It's honestly, I'm not going to say the best feeling, but it really is, for me, just an unbeatable feeling when you feel it leave your hands and it feels good and you see it swish through the hoop. It's just like, oof. It's just one of the best feelings that there is. Need new hoops videos, knee brace and all. I'm making assumptions. Well, we'll see if I can get back to it. I was just talking to our friend Nick about it, about getting back into playing. I really should try this summer. Like, I really should. Almost as good as gooning. Exactly. Not quite, but almost. I get that feeling, but with pool. You're a pool guy? I always have fun playing pool, definitely. I've never been very good. To do an IRL basketball stream, I would have to play a couple weeks before that. If I set up an IRL basketball stream for like the first time I was playing, it would not be pretty. It would not be pretty whatsoever. I'd just have a big red face. I'd be like puking. No one wants to see that. I mean, maybe some of you do, but no one wants to see that. Yeah, I think you're right. Lodane. Play basketball and rollerblades. Now we're talking. Can hoop at the DNC for the nom. Challenge Joe Brandon to a game of one-on-one. You challenge Joe Brandon to a game of one-on-one in a public forum like that, he has to accept, or he's going to look foolish. He's going to look cowardly. You still digging into that soup? I just had a couple little noodles left there, the dregs. And if he declines, you automatically become president. Exactly. Watching breaking Joe Brandon's ankles. No game of one-on-one. Pulling off an Iverson crossover. Just watch him just fall to the ground. Ugh! It would be so satisfying. Corn pop with the alley-oop dunk. Just comes in and sets a hard screen on Joe Brandon, and he just instantly turns to dust. Is stepping over him after like AI on Tyronn Lue. It's hard goddamn work being this good. I think we should do it. I think we should try. or I was planning violence live on twitch.tv. It's not. It's like if you consider it to be violence to be crossing over a 83-year-old man in a basketball game and having him fall down. I mean, that's just sports, you know? If he doesn't want to be put in that position, he shouldn't be playing. That's all. That's not my problem. Oh man, do I still have this YouTube video? Let me just see. I've probably shown this before to people. Don't step on the cord if you can't handle it, old man. Exactly. Oh man. This is so old. Holy shit. I really cannot remember if I've ever shown anyone this, if I've shown you guys this or not.
Hi everybody at home, it's Rob from the Mission District here. Now I know what you're thinking. The Mission District, they're a bunch of unathletic, scrawny music nerds. You know, what do they know about sports? And for the most part you'd be right. But I'm here today to show you the mechanics of shooting a good jump shot. Shall we? Never underestimate the power of the uber nerd. The important lesson I'm going to teach you today is called BEEF. That's an acronym.
I'm very out of breath.
Let's go over what each letter stands for. First, B, balance. You want to make sure your feet are square to the basket, and then you have all your balance and your center of gravity is low. Some people like to have their right foot out first forward. That's up to you to decide. Okay, next E, elbows. Your elbow wants to be on a 90-degree inclination to the basket as you're launching the shot. The third E is eyes, because you want your eyes focused on the basket at all times. The F, finally, stands for follow through, because you want to follow through your shot with the flick of the wrist, giving the ball a spinning motion. Now just once again, that's BEEF. Balance, elbows, eyes, and follow through. Thanks for watching. That was my lovely assistant Melinda. My final tip about being a quality basketball player is to make sure you have a camera and some good editing software like Final Cut Pro or iMovie, or if you use a PC, Windows Movie Maker. Observe. Hi, I'm Rob, and you're watching YouthGames.tv.
There we go. Young Rob. Young Rob, folks. 14 years ago. Are those edited? No, those are not edited. Those were all real. Those were all very real. Still great hair. That's right. I may be a little more out of shape. I am a lot more confident on camera. You can see I was really rushing. I was really rushing all my lines there. I'm much more methodical now. Have the egg cracking skills improved? That's right. I kind of messed that one up. Sometimes I like to educate you people on the lore, the deep lore. What is that from, Lodan? I feel like I should know what that is. We've got beaches, Avi. Oh. I gotta rewatch Snatch. Snatch is really good. Snatch is so cool. The film. Rob could have played for the NBA, but he turned it all down for the glamour of content creation. That's right. I could have played in the NBA, but I decided to pivot to the real successful field of the online Marxist streaming. Now I'm really raking it in. Rob went from talking about beef to eating food from Joe Beef in Montreal to talking about beefs that he has with other extremely online niche internet micro celebrities. Actually, Lodane, I did not. I did not get the reference at all, I must say. From downtown, and he's on fire, was all I could hear in my head. Boom shakalaka. $22-year-old Rob, you're thinking about, you know where the money is? Streaming in 15 years. That's right. Who needs to be a big rock star? At that time, I really thought I was going to be a big deal, you know? And I got to be a minor deal, not a big deal, like a mid-level deal. I really thought I was going to be a big, serious, like, music guy, though. And now here I am. Here I am, trying to make a little number go up on the bottom of the screen. Spend every single day just trying to make this fucking number go up. Who cares, though, right? I love it. I love being here. Isn't my birthday coming up? Yeah. Yeah, it is. A little over a month, I guess. It's actually my mom's birthday today. Happy birthday to her. The big 2-5, that's right. So we got the big 2-5 and the big 60.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Anon, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, Anon. I just got an ad that says you're going to Rotterdam for TwitchCon, Rob. That sounds cool. No plans to do that. No plans to do that so far. Happy birthday, Rob's mommy. Have a rad son. Thank you, Up the Reds. I don't think she's watching today. I know sometimes she does tune in. Like, my mom's not in the chat or anything, but sometimes she does say, "Oh, I was watching your show," and I'm like, "Oh God, what was I talking about?" You don't look a minute over 57, and anyone who says you do is a lying hate bastard. Thank you, Dick Penderin. I appreciate that. She did not ask about gooning. No, I haven't heard anything about that.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old
You're
Rob
the
to
Stone
talk you
Cold
through all this.
impression. Or like doing any one of the other like ridiculous sexual innuendos. Glad to see you out here using your real given name talking about gooning, son. How old are you again? Yeah, okay, turning 41, huh? Chaos the Gardener, thanks for the 3 gifted subs. I really, really appreciate that, Chaos the Gardener. Thank you for that. At least Anne Hathaway is a fan. Exactly. That's at least one thing we can tell ourselves here. Anne Hathaway, please hit me with your car challenge. I mean, maybe she's watching. That's why she came out. She came out as an official gooner today, so I like to think that she has been tuning in, frankly.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Bleep Lord, thank you for gifting a sub. Wow. Wow, Bleep Lord. Thank you for gifting a sub to our new friend, Anne Hathaway. Wonderful. Anne Hathaway, it's official now. We were speculating before. It's official now. Anne Hathaway, confirmed valued community member. Hollywood actress, Anne Hathaway. That's wonderful. If we're both part of the friendship triangle, does that mean we're friends? It does. Yeah, it does. It does mean that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what this community is about. So. I feel so bad if Anne Hathaway gets blacklisted because of all this joking. Yeah, this joking. And this is Rob. He's a bit of a worm god. They should cast me in Dude Messiah. I could do something. They could find something for me in there. Why not? Could I become an actor like in my 40s, do you think? Like, could you do that? How do you even do that? What do you go to acting classes? I was thinking about doing like voice acting classes because there is a lot of like video games and stuff around here, and people like to listen to my voice apparently sometimes. I was thinking about that. You'd be a good guild navigator. Carrier wave, no! Oh my godness. Anyway, it would be fun. It'd be fun to do that. Getting into voice acting at the top just before AI slop decimates it. Exactly. Yeah, that's the best time to do it. That is the best time to do it, as soon as it becomes totally obsolete. I like to act, though. It's fun. I need to make a technical difficulty screen for TRRS. Yeah, I really should make one. It'd be good for those special moments. Those special moments when I become too mortified to stay on the screen. They do film a lot of stuff in Quebec, yes. They do. Oh, excuse me. The audio engineer. Sighing as Rob starts take 42 because he keeps replacing a random word with hot dog. And that just spices things up, okay? Makes it more exciting and interesting. Well, you don't need to improv? Canada, they film a lot of stuff here and pretend it's somewhere else city. That's right. There's not a lot of like mainstream movies that actually take place in Montreal. I remember there was one. It's like a heist movie with Edward Norton and Marlon Brando, I want to say. It was one of Brando's last movies. The Score. De Niro is in that as well. What a cast.
Excuse me. Can you help me, please?
Last Norman?
Yes.
2 blocks this way, 1 block that way, to the left. And you're right there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nick.
I'm Max's guy in the customs house.
24 guards.
This is a very big payoff for very acceptable risks.
$30 million. 9 video cameras.
All right. Paint me a picture.
I got floor plans. I got security completely wrapped around my finger.
Sorry.
4 alarm systems.
I can handle the system in there if someone else can break into this box.
After this, no more jobs. This is the last one I'm doing. I'm quitting.
How many times you told me that in 25 years? All to protect a safe that has never been cracked.
You gotta admit that this kid did a pretty good show.
Thank you.
I run this operation down to the smallest
I did not realize that Edward Norton was doing like a fake handicapped guy bit in this. That's interesting.
I walk. Understood?
That doesn't work for me.
I've done this down to the last
You got to be able
detail.
to walk as soon as you feel the heat around the corner.
When it's time to collect, don't do it.
It's a dangerous game you're playing here. Are we clear?
Yeah, we're clear. I'll take some respect from you for starters. How about that?
Paramount Pictures.
Only
and
the
Mandalay
finest for
Pictures
Montreal
presents
movies.
Who's this?
Cousin.
Cousin. That's my cousin. We've all got family here, which is nice.
In 25 years, I've never worked with a gun, and I'm not going to start now. Next time, don't bring a gun.
Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, Angela Bassett, and Marlon Brando.
Can you get me the bypass codes?
You want to talk or you want to see what I got?
Got it.
It will take all of them to get it.
Tick-tock.
But only one will keep it.
Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I don't see what you and Max are doing?
When did you start thinking you were better than me?
You trying to talk me into taking a sucker's share on a score that I set up from the beginning.
This whole game is one big long shot. And if you don't have the discipline to stay away from the gambles, then one day you will go down. It's inevitable.
You want me to list the ways I can burn you? We either work this out right now or I will take you down.
I've never actually seen this. Directed by Frank Oz. That's surprising. And the trailer just showing the whole movie and didn't mention anything about Montreal or really show any like city shots or anything like that. It is a Montreal movie though. It takes place in Montreal. You'd think there would be more. It's an interesting city, interesting environment, interesting architecture. Why don't we have more Montreal movies? I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. No, Montreal's not a big strip mall like the US. That's the whole thing that makes it interesting. Angela Bassett, of course, yes. The whole 9 yards and the Jackal. Well, no, there's plenty of movies that have been filmed here. There's plenty, but there's not a lot of movies that take place. This is my point. Lots of movies are made here. Lots of movies are filmed here. I think 300 was filmed here. They were set in Montreal too? The whole 9 yards. I wonder if like Matthew Perry? Jimmy the Tulip, I've never seen this. Tedeschi, a mob hitman turned informant, ratted on the mob and put his life in jeopardy. He's now moved to suburban Montreal. Huh. I did not know that.
Can you move any slower than this, fellas?
Hi. You must be our new neighbor. I'm Nicholas Ozeransky. Call me Oz.
Jimmy Jones.
Have we met before?
No. I remember I got a thing with faces.
It would be really funny if he was like super French Canadian. It's like, eh, sacrément, est-ce que vous avez juste déménagé ici, là? Tabarnak. That would add a whole new dynamic to it if he was like that. If he was one of those guys.
You all right?
Yes.
You look like you got some gas.
That's Jimmy the Tulip Tedeschi. Jimmy the Tulip was a hitman. Sexy. Sophie, the man's killed 17 people.
Let's go for a drive.
A drive? Look, Jimmy, I certainly don't want to die.
You better get used to it because you're going to.
What?
Everybody dies.
Yeah, yes, it's a type of guy. It's the type of guy. It's the type of guy. Mistress of Insanity. That's how people are here. That's how people talk.
Sooner or later.
Jimmy Tedeschi's new friends are hitting on him.
I'm one of your biggest fans. I've been following your career since I was a kid.
She has definite potential.
What? I've been wanting to meet you for years.
C'est complètement les maudits anglais, là.
One of them is hitting a little too close.
C'est un film Montréal, il n'y a pas de francophone, tabarnak.
This is Cynthia, Jimmy's wife.
Sacrément, c'est complètement les maudits anglais en calice.
In sexual congress with each other's wives.
Have you vomited recently?
It's another film where Matthew Perry is anxious and unusual. Yeah.
You were right about him. This is one exceedingly sweet man.
I can't think of nothing finer than a fine naked woman holding a gun. Bruce Willis.
It's not important how many people I've killed. What's important is how I get along with the people that are still alive.
Matthew Perry.
He's a little upset. I've managed to upset a mass murderer.
For sure, I'm a Kevin Pollak guy as well.
No.
No, Dan.
Time to rock and roll.
In their world,
They're gonna kill you. What?
being yourself
Nobody move.
could get you killed. The whole 9 yards.
Did not realize this one took place in suburban Montreal. I guess it takes place in like the South Shore or something. Yeah, Natasha Henstridge was in that. I didn't realize. I don't know what happened to her. She was in Species, obviously. I can't remember if she was in the sequel, but then I didn't really hear much about her. That movie was called A Bit Less Than 9 Meters in Europe. Wow. Wow, Diego. Didn't she die? I didn't know that. Oh, it's Natasha Richardson, who died in the skiing accident, I believe. I remember that. Remember when people died from skiing accidents more often? Not really. I don't really remember that. I remember that specific incident. I don't remember that it was like a phenomenon. Did you answer about Indian summer? No. Sonny Bono was skiing as well? Have you seen the movie Indian Summer? Is that the one with like Christina Ricci and like I might be thinking of something else. Christina Ricci and like fucking can't remember anyone's name anymore. No, I don't remember this. I think I definitely remember seeing this movie on like HBO and stuff. I don't believe I've seen it though. Nice ensemble cast. Yeah. You got Alan Arkin, Diane Lane, Bill Paxton. Sam Raimi's in it as an actor? That's strange. Never seen that one. Also Kevin Pollak in there as well. It just seems like skiing in general has like receded as like a rich person activity. Is that a possibility? Like I feel like that was like a thing that people did more. Like a cool thing that you would do if you were rich, you would go and spend time doing that. I'm sure it still happens, but you don't hear it a lot about like the celeb skiing incidents. There was the Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow was in a skiing related incident that had a whole lawsuit over. That's funny. Oh man, looked up celebrity skiing injuries, not advised. Use some graphic skiing injury images. Global warming. Yeah, but people are still skiing though. Like I know global warming is happening, but like there is, even though this summer was not as, or this winter was not as much, but there is still snowy mountains, like some places, I think. The elites are too busy playing pickleball to ski. They're too busy doing weird satanic rituals now. It's taking up all their time. Never skied. I skied a lot when I was a kid. I think then skiing became not cool and snowboarding became cool. And I tried to go snowboarding and I just was no good at it and I didn't want to learn. But I haven't skied for a long time. It's kind of a fun thing. It's kind of fun to go skiing. I don't know. I haven't for many, many years. maybe safety precautions were taken after so many high-profile deaths. That would make sense. There's great skiing in Quebec. It's one of the things it's most known for. All kinds of mountains. There's the mountain like in the city, but just up north. There's the Laurentians. There's big mountains up north. So lots of places to go. Most people wear helmets now because of wokeness, I see. I see. We should go on a group skiing trip. Chat. Let's hit the slopes. Let's hit the slopes next winter. I want to go to the mountains. Well, you should. You should do that. It's beautiful in the winter or the summer. In the summer, there's all kinds of lakes and good shit going on up there. I'll hang in the lodge, wear sweaters, and drink hot cocoa. But that's part of it, right? It's not even about the skiing. Just only sweaters. Wow. Scandalous. But like Lodane's saying it like a sexy thing, but really it's like you're hiking up the sweaters as pants, putting your legs in the armholes and stuff. It's walking around like, I'm the sweater monster. Chasing everybody around. Sweaters and shoes. Oh boy. We should do it, chat. We should go hit the slopes. Is there skiing in DPRK? There must be somewhere. They've got like mountainous terrain there. We should go hit the slopes in DPRK. Socks are just the sweaters of the feet. Exactly. All I can think of is stupid, sexy Flanders. Remember all the skiing movies? Like we were kind of joking about it the other day, talking about like playing basketball for the community center. That was really the plot of so many skiing movies, though. You know, the rich kid's dad, the developers buying the resort, and the cool ski dudes are like, they just want to party and fuck and drink all the time, and they got to get in a ski off to save the mountain. And It's Always Sunny expertly parodied this as well. There were so many movies like that. Well, I said so many. There's probably like 6, but it felt like a lot. It felt like a lot at the time. Being messily devoured by a Siberian tiger on Mount Paektu. I mean, what a way to go, you know? What a way to go. Oh, shit. Is this like a subgenre of the scary water parks media stories? Inside Masikryong, North Korea's new ski resort. Oh shit. It's an evil ski resort. When staff at Chosun Exchange aren't training North Korean entrepreneurs, they're exploring the country. This month, they stopped at Kim Jong-un's latest prestige project and felt like they'd stumbled onto the set of The Shining. How dare they build a ski resort? It's one of those scary, sinister Korean ski resorts. Look at this. Looks nice. What's the big deal? I want to ski the DPRK ski spot, but it's wicked expensive to get there and stay. I imagine, yeah. Looks nice. I want to go. When we're on our trip, we should do it. When we go finally on our DPRK trip, which I do intend to do one day, by the way. I'm not joking about that. Not a joke. Not a joke, folks. That's what Biden always says. Looks exactly like Kubrick's The Shining. Yes, it's a hotel maybe that has less people in it because it just opened up. Yeah, this is so funny. 2 weeks ago, we had the chance to stop by Masakryong on the way from our workshop in Wonsan. North Korea has a grandiose plans for Wonsan as a tourist destination, a big part of which will be the ski resort you've all heard so much about. We arrived just after the season had ended, so the hills were bare and there were no other guests, creating a very The Shining type vibe. Okay, so it's not that scary. You just showed up at this hotel when no one was staying there because the season was over. Like, what's the big fucking deal? Turning the past into a really enchanting landscape. This is beautiful. Look at this. Fantastic. That's where they get like this like sinister sentiment. They're trying to turn it into a tourist destination. What are they really trying to do? It's like it's just a ski resort. It's just a water park. You know, it's not scary. It's all right. Do you have any AI videos of you skiing flawlessly? No. Because like I said, I haven't been skiing probably since I was about 12, 13 maybe, so. Oh my god, look. They changed the headline. Poor Arsenal fans, they can't have their own thing anymore. They changed the title. Anne Hathaway is a secret Arsenal fan. They had to change it because everyone was losing it. We went to a ski resort in the off season. It was eerily quiet. Oh my. Terrifying. The Guardian are cowards. They should have kept it. I want you to put the word back on the street, the we up. I just have to go to the bathroom, folks. I'll be right back.
You know something, Rudy? I think it's time we settle this once and for all. Hey, Squirrel. Spot me $50.
50?
Make it 40. Chinese downhill. $40 a man. Winner takes all.
Yeah, it is the only way. Chinese downhill.
Oh, and Rudy, to bring the trophy, I think it should go to the real champion.
I am the champion.
But the Chinese downhill will decide everything.
Yeah, it is a great Chinese downhill.
What the fuck is a Chinese downhill?
Whew. Good luck, kid. See you at the bottom. Oh boy.
Seems pretty dangerous. You gotta watch out. I don't know if proper safety precautions are being observed here at all. Oh shit. Oh man. Love the score. They should put this on TV. I would watch this. It's all legal. It's the secret shortcut in Mario Kart. He did it. This guy's so pissed. Nice. This is from Hot Dog the Movie. Harkin Banks is a young Idaho farm kid who's an ace at skiing. Headed to the freestyle skiing championships in Squaw Valley, CA, along with his runaway, Sonny. He meets his adversary in the form of Rudy, a self-centered European skier who doesn't take a liking to Harkin or his newfound friends, the Rat Pack, led by veteran Dan O'Callahan. Harkin has many misadventures with Dan and his buddies, but doesn't lose focus on his attempt to get the World Cup. And look at that, he does it. A heartwarming tale. I was just while we were looking at that, I was reading about the Sonny Bono skiing accident. I'd completely forgotten about that whole thing. And I didn't realize that one of RFK's sons died in a skiing accident as well. These Kennedys just can't stop dying in all kinds of wacky ways. I'm even wearing a shirt of one of them right now. Michael Kennedy. Have you seen this photo? No, I haven't, but it rocks, actually. I cannot say that I have seen this photo. I don't know what prompted that, but it's good. It's a good photo. You know, I like it. Justin Trudeau lost a brother in a ski accident. Jeez, you really don't hear about this kind of stuff anymore, do you? I don't hear anything.
From our studios in New York, here is Stone Phillips.
On stage, he was the bumbling straight man for Cher. Off stage, he was anything but. A sharp businessman, a top draw as a public speaker. Sonny Bono was a pop star turned successful politician. There was even talk that the two-term California congressman might make a second run for the Senate. But all that
K. Bono indeed.
Afternoon ski run in the Sierra Nevadas. Keith Morrison has the latest.
Look at that suit.
Sometimes, because people can't let go of that
Gigantic
past,
suit.
It stops them from moving forward and becoming what they should be in the future.
He said one time, in that child's voice of his, with that self-deprecating twinkle, that being stuck in time was the biggest problem he ever had.
And then finally, I just let it go, and I was fine after that. Most of what I am today, I owe to luck.
He said the end of Sonny and Cher was almost the end of him. He had to escape his own past. He made a new life with a woman named Mary and 2 little children. He was just a junior congressman, a minor politician, really. And sometimes he knew people joked about him. Sonny Bono in Congress? But he wasn't stuck in time. We were, which is why this hit such a nerve.
Congressman Sonny Bono was fatally injured in a skiing accident.
What happened here was big news everywhere, as if we knew him.
Shortly after 4:30 yesterday afternoon, Heavenly received a missing person report.
Yesterday, when the Heavenly Ski Resort closed and his wife Mary reported him missing, nobody seemed very worried, not at first. Even though Michael Kennedy had skied into a tree and died just days before, everyone here knows it's a relatively safe sport. Last year, just 36 people died in skiing accidents, a tiny fraction of...
Okay. I guess of all the people that go skiing, 36 people dying is not that much, but like, that's certainly more dangerous than a lot of other sports, right? How many people that year died playing basketball or soccer or tennis or badminton? You know what I mean? Like 36 is like kind of high. Even if it's even if per capita it's not that much.
The number killed in bicycle accidents. Sonny Bono was an expert skier. He had gone off the trail for a run through the woods, but just starting down when he hit this tree. Today, the coroner said death was instantaneous.
It's the fateful tree.
His death was caused by massive head injuries due to blunt force trauma.
In the shock that settled over this second skiing death,
Maybe that's just what they want you to think.
New interest in helmets for skiers. Would that have saved either man?
I wear a helmet because I've had a friend nearly die because of a head injury.
It's true. It also doesn't count horrible disabling injuries,
Today in
for sure.
Washington, the flag over the U.S. Capitol building was drawn down to half-mast. For Sonny Bono, imagine that. He hustled
Sonny Bono had evidence that would lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
Named Cher with him. But even then, 1965, the act was more her than him. They broke up in 1975, the year some people called the true end of the 60s. But she soared, and he sank. That's when he got stuck in the past.
That outfit that she wears in that video is insane. The turn back time video.
Cher was on the cover of Time, and she, her records were hit, and then she would get in the movie, and you're going, you know, I am part of that.
He told me once a decade ago that for years it seemed everything good was lost, that his life was over.
Such a tremendous loss. I lost a career, I lost a family.
He sank. He's being pretty harsh.
Being a father on the spot. So everything, every loss came all at once.
And then somehow he got up again. For one thing, he
faked his death, is currently living with his secret family with Moldova.
Yeah.
Or he died in an unfortunate accident. This rising political force.
As a big joke. Comics had fun with this, about the flake who ran for mayor. It wasn't until he won that anybody watching could see how important it was, that this was the way he had saved his own life.
I do solemnly swear I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
In 1994, he was elected to Congress, and once again expectations were not that high. But he had an easy way and a ready humor.
I am so pleased that we are all so dedicated to mankind.
What was his platform? These are Republicans, so probably like tax cuts,
egomaniacs,
austerity.
And you have power mongers, and you have elitists. I got you, babe.
Of course, Sonny Bono
In California
never
Republican,
really
so maybe he had some like environmental hippy-dippy stuff as well.
One thing, he wasn't stuck there.
Tax cuts to ski resorts.
We can't find.
Though less than one visit in a million ends in a fatality, the Bono and Kennedy deaths have put a spotlight on ski safety. Here are some tips.
That guy's suit. That's my main takeaway. Look at this thing. This is David Byrne. Why is David Byrne hosting Dateline? This has been really great for viewers today, this episode. I've enjoyed the discussion. I've enjoyed this meandering, weird episode of this program. Hasn't been great for the old viewer numbers, though, I gotta say. Like, every time I try to move away from talking about serious shit, talking about, like, war and violence and imperialism and conspiracy theories and whatever else, people are like, or I do gaming or whatever. You were like, get this out of me. Turn the channel. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn this shit off. Yeah, this show ain't no good. Yeah. It's better than the reality TV. I think we all liked watching Man Tracker. We're all itching for the Man Tracker era to come back. The variety streamer pivot not working. It would be nice if I could just take like a little break of just like 1 or 2 days a week, you know? Just have a day that's just to talk about other stuff. Maybe to have fun. Maybe smile a little bit, you know? What's so wrong about that? No fun. No fun allowed. Lots of laughs talking about skiing deaths. I couldn't even tell you how we got started talking about this shit. Couldn't even tell you. But folks, I am going to get going soon. It's been a whole day of just chit chat. You know what? I liked it. Fun in my Institute for Western Destabilization? I know. I got to get going soon. I liked our silly stream today. You know, I will be back tomorrow talking about serious shit. And on Friday, we've got our friend Hayat coming on the show as well, who's really cool. So plenty of like interesting and substantive and important discussion to be had on this show throughout the rest of the week. But thanks for tuning in today, folks. As you know, as you can see, I'm a mere 21 subs away from the goal. And as you know, this number at the bottom of the screen must go up each and every day. As I was saying, I know my chit chat has not been great for bringing in new viewers or whatever today, even though I think it's a fun and enjoyable thing to do, is to hang around and shoot the shit and riff on stuff a little bit. But still, disappeared for half an hour. I came back and saw Chinese Downhill. Pretty cool randomness. There we go. See, we have fun on here. We like to have fun. But regardless, folks, we're 21 subs away, a mere 21 subs away from the goal. So if you do enjoy this program today or any other day, if you want to support this show and support the work that I do here on Twitch and support the community, please, if you can, subscribe to TRRS. Every little bit helps keep the show on the air, helps support the work that I do, keeps this community alive, keeps this show alive. I really appreciate it a lot. And we become friends when you subscribe to this program or when you gift bits or subs or whatever it is. It's really cool, and I appreciate it a lot, and we become friends, most importantly. So please, if you can, subscribe. Help me make the little number at the bottom of the screen go up a little bit more, and you become friends with Anne Hathaway as well. By the way, look at this. You want me to pill you on something, folks? You see this news story about a upstart rising star Republican politician dying in a mysterious accident. And what's the date? January 6th, 1998. Oh my gosh, what does it mean? We're through the looking glass here, people. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm doing my part with gifties. Are you doing your part? I think we've got a little less part doing today. We've got a little bit less part doing. Do you think Kramer would have been at January 6th? He would have, but like for some reason, like not because of supporting Trump. He would have ended up like in the Capitol building, like with his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk, but for a totally different, like non-political reason, you know?
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Or because he's protesting some obscure political cause or whatever, and he has no idea like what all the other stuff is about. Anon, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, Anon. And look at that, only 20 subs to go. And not only could one brave chatter come through and get the show to the sub goal, and I don't want to alarm anyone here. Don't all rush to subscribe at the same time. Protesting showerhead water pressure. Yeah, there we go. Not only could one brave and generous hero chatter get across the sub goal finish line, but could also trigger the very rarely seen and extremely cool 20 gift sub alert. I don't see a downside, personally. I don't see a downside. You trigger the ultra exclusive elite cool alert, and you're the hero that drags this show today across the finish line for the mere price of 20 subs. Wow. I'd buy that for $1. That's something you could put on a resume. And if you need to use me, 20 subs is basically $1. That's right. If you need me to like be a reference as well, if you put that on a resume, I can do that.
Good old Rob to talk you through all this.
I can do that. You can leave me. I can put my number, and then like your prospective employer can call me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, they're fantastic. I'm frustrated that I'm losing them. Weenus, thank you very much for the gifted sub, but you fucked it up. You didn't win. I'm just joking, Weenus. I'm just joking. You know what I watched the other day was A History of Violence. Oh fuck, I can't believe I've done this. I watched A History of Violence the other day, which is such an awesome movie. Awesome Cronenberg movie. Really disturbing and graphic. Really amazing performance by Viggo Mortensen, and a lot of really good character actors, Maria Bello and Stephen McHattie and Ed Harris, all coming in doing great stuff. And then William Hurt just shows up
to talk you through all this.
William Hurt shows up at the end of this movie, and it's like he's in a totally different movie. And it's like it's almost like slapstick. Like, it's so silly, but it works at the same time. Like, it works. It's such an iconic, like, cameo supporting role. It's so weird though, but it's just hilarious. Max, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Just his line reading in that is just like amazing. I don't even want to like spoil it for people, because if you haven't seen that movie, you should watch it because it's really good. It's this really disturbing like kind of meditation on like, I just did a script. I did a review on Letterboxd as well, so I'm just rehashing some of my review that I did, but it's a really kind of interesting and fascinating and disturbing kind of portrayal of violence, almost like acting as like a cancerous cell floating around and infecting everything it touches. Or you see in Viggo Mortensen's character like being dormant for years and years, and then like coming back out after being dormant. And really interesting. And then in the last 15 minutes, William Hurt shows up, and he's just so silly, but it's hilarious, and it just works. I don't know. And he just has some of the very best line readings you can imagine. Like when he says, "How can you fuck that up?" It's such a good movie. It's really good. I can't distinguish Ed Harris and William Hurt in my mind. They're the same men. They're pretty different. Ed Harris, I don't know. It's just I remember Ed Harris from so many great things, like Apollo 13 and now my mind's going blank. I had something and then I lost it. The Abyss, of course. He's been in so much good stuff. Westworld, yes. Ed Harris is great. But that's the thing, like Ed Harris in this movie, The Rock, of course, he's being serious. He's super serious. He's like terrifying in this movie. He's fucking terrifying in this movie. And then William Hurt shows up, and it's like he's in just a completely different movie. And it's so funny, though. How could you fuck that up? Really recommend A History of Violence, though. And it's written by Josh Olson, too. A really cool guy. Who hosts, he hosted the West Wing Thing podcast with Dave Anthony. Josh Olson. I've talked to him before. Really cool dude. In fact, I should send Josh Holden the script that I just wrote. That's an exciting thing. I finished writing this script with my friend Abdul Malik. Abdul is like an actually like successful screenwriter now. We wrote a script together. We've been revising it. We got a mini document Bible thing. We got like a whole visual deck. We're gonna start sending it out. We're sending it out on Monday. That's kind of exciting. I don't know if anything, like most likely nothing will happen. I'm keeping my expectations extremely low because it's extremely unlikely that anything will happen with it, but it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting. Is the script about smoking dank weed? Yes, it is. That's right. Yes, it is. Well, this has been a silly one. You ever read a script on weed? This is a script about a gooner. It's about a gooner just smoking dank weed all day. Again, I'm trying to keep my expectations low. Most likely nothing to biopic. I play myself, obviously. you know, like I said, I'm trying to keep my expectations low, but it's exciting. It's cool to like have worked on something, and I think it's very funny and good. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe something will happen. Probably, if it comes close to being made, someone will just open up this show and look at it for 5 seconds and be like, "Nope, not doing anything with this guy." That's the more likely scenario, but you know, you never know. I don't want to give away entirely like what it's about right now, because it's like I just don't want to like talk like about like all the details of it, but it's very, very relevant to everything that we talk about, though. Anyway, folks, halfway there, halfway to the sub goal, unbelievably close. A mere 18 subs to go. Should be no problem. Should be no problem for those final 18 subs to come in. I'm sure any moment now, there's just going to be this deluge of support. Ugh. Excuse me. I'm sleepy. Okay. Who are you raiding here? You should take a nap. I would like to take a nap. I don't really have time, though, unfortunately. Thank you for tuning in today, folks. It was fun to just hang out and chat today. It was genuinely a fun time. I think if someone asked me, like, what did you talk about on the stream today? I couldn't really answer that question. I really don't know. Somehow we talked for 3 hours, but I remember the skiing stuff, but I really couldn't tell you beyond that. No recollection. Mostly just celebrity skiing accidents. Anne Hathaway, gooning, skiing, hoops. Nice break from the craziness. Well, we'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll dive headlong back into the craziness tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and raid Defector Media. There didn't seem to be a lot of exciting stuff going on. They're doing some kind of game thing. Don't totally know what it is, but Defector Media is pretty cool. So I'll see you folks tomorrow. And just another about 10 seconds for those 18 subs to come in. I'm sure those are going to come in any second now. Just going to sit back and allow those to roll in.